Every single second, Earth is absorbing roughly 100 tons of cosmic radiation that would otherwise pass straight through your body. You've never felt it, you've never seen it, but remove that invisible shield for just 5 seconds. 5. And the chain reaction that follows wouldn't just hurt you, it would begin collapsing the infrastructure keeping millions of people alive right now. So here's what nobody's actually talking about. What happens in those first 5 seconds? Because it's not what you think. And once you see the sequence, you'll never look at a clear blue sky the same way again. So first, let's talk about the magnetosphere. And I know that word sounds like something out of a Marvel movie, but stick with me here. The Earth has a molten iron core that's spinning. That spin generates a massive magnetic field that extends tens of thousands of miles into space. And what does that magnetic field do? It deflects the solar wind, a constant stream of charged particles blasting out of the sun at roughly 1,000,000 miles per hour. Here's a way to think about it. Imagine you're holding an umbrella in a rainstorm. The rain is the solar wind. The umbrella is the magnetosphere. Now imagine someone rips that umbrella away. In 5 seconds of exposure, real, unfiltered solar wind hitting Earth's surface, the atmosphere would begin to be stripped away. It's slow at first, but the process is irreversible once it starts. We know this because it literally happened to Mars. Mars lost its magnetic field billions of years ago, and today it has almost no atmosphere. It went from potentially habitable to a frozen, radiation-blasted desert. That's not a distant hypothetical. That's a warning from our planetary neighbor. And the thing that hits me about this is we didn't build the magnetosphere. We didn't engineer it. We didn't even understand it existed for most of human history. It's just there, doing its job, quietly. Okay, moving a little closer to home. Even if the magnetosphere held, there's another layer of protection we need to talk about, the ozone layer. This is the one you've probably heard of, and maybe you've heard about it so many times that it sounds kind of boring now. Ozone depletion, CFCs, aerosol cans, blah blah blah. But I want you to actually feel what ozone is doing for you. Ultraviolet radiation from the sun comes in different flavors: UVA, UVB, UVC. The ozone layer absorbs most of the UVB and virtually all of the UVC. UVC, by the way, is the kind used in hospitals to sterilize surgical equipment. It kills DNA, not damages, kills. Right now, a thin band of ozone about 3 millimeters thick, if you compressed it to sea level pressure, it would be about the height of 2 stacked pennies, is absorbing radiation that would otherwise shred the DNA in every exposed organism on the planet's surface. 5 seconds of Earth's surface exposed to full-spectrum solar UV radiation, mass cell death in exposed skin, permanent eye damage, effectively instant blindness, for anyone looking outside. And the cascading effects on plant life and phytoplankton, which produce roughly half of all the oxygen on Earth, would unfold over the following months in ways that are genuinely catastrophic. The scary part? We almost did this to ourselves. In the 1980s, scientists discovered a hole in the ozone layer over Antarctica caused by human-made chemicals. And here's the thing. We actually fixed it, or started fixing it. The Montreal Protocol, signed in 1987, is genuinely one of humanity's greatest cooperative achievements. It's wild that it doesn't get talked about more. We looked at a disaster forming in slow motion, and we course-corrected. That's not nothing. That's remarkable. Now let's zoom out even further. Because the magnetosphere and the ozone layer are specific shields, but the atmosphere as a whole? That's the whole game. The atmosphere does like 6 different things that are all individually essential. It keeps pressure stable, so our blood doesn't literally boil. It retains heat, so we don't freeze to death at night. The moon, which has no atmosphere, swings from 260 degrees Fahrenheit during the day to minus 280 degrees Fahrenheit at night. It carries water vapor and drives the weather systems that irrigate every crop on Earth. It filters incoming space debris, burning up thousands of meteorites every single day that would otherwise crater the surface. 5 seconds without it? Your lungs would expand. Fluids in your body would start to vaporize. You wouldn't explode, that's a movie myth. But you'd lose consciousness in about 15 seconds and be dead in around 90. But more importantly, the infrastructure of civilization, farming, water systems, temperature regulation, all of it begins collapsing without an atmosphere. The 5-second removal is the trigger. The dying would take years. I think about this when I see people complain about the weather. Like, yeah, it's raining, but also that rain is part of an atmospheric cycle that has kept complex life possible on this planet for hundreds of millions of years. It's raining for you, in a cosmic sense. Here's where I want to be careful, because I'm not here to make you feel guilty. I really mean that. But I'd be doing you a disservice if I spent all this time talking about Earth's protection systems without mentioning that some of them are, right now, under pressure from human activity. The ozone story, as I mentioned, has a hopeful ending in progress. But climate change is subtly altering atmospheric chemistry. Space debris in low orbit poses risks to satellites that help us monitor these systems. And there are researchers who study geomagnetic reversal, a natural flipping of Earth's magnetic poles, who note that during the transition, the magnetosphere can weaken significantly. These aren't doom scenarios, they're just real things happening in the background of everyday life. And the strange thing is, the more clearly you see them, the less helpless you feel. Because helplessness comes from vagueness, from not understanding the system. When you understand how the shield works, you understand where the vulnerabilities are. And more importantly, you understand what protecting them actually means, not in a bumper sticker way, but in a deeply practical, scientifically grounded way. So here's what I want to leave you with. You are alive right now, reading this, breathing, existing, because of systems so vast and ancient and elegant that it almost doesn't seem fair to call them anything less than miraculous. The magnetosphere has been deflecting solar wind for billions of years. The ozone layer has been absorbing lethal radiation since before complex life existed. The atmosphere has been holding pressure and warmth and water in perfect balance across geological epochs. And we are, for all our flaws, the only species on Earth capable of understanding those systems, studying them, and choosing to protect them. 5 seconds without Earth's protection would set in motion a disaster that no government, no technology, no human effort could stop. But that's not a reason for despair. It's a reason to pay attention, to care, to take seriously the things that quietly keep us here. The shield exists. It's working. And the only meaningful question left is whether we're paying enough attention to protect it in return. Subscribe to the channel. Every week, we publish fascinating videos about everything imaginable, from hidden mysteries and shocking discoveries to stories that will completely change the way you see the world. Don't miss the next one.